So today is officially the first day of the beginning of spring. What did you call it? The vernal equinox. Okay, so today is the beginning of spring. I'm very excited. Now, again, you know that I did not grow up here. I have not lived my entire life in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I moved here from Arizona where we have one season. It's called hot. So going through the fall, and then, I went through the spring last year, had the allergies crush me. Then I got to the brutally hot summer that was so humid. I couldn't wait to put on a sweatshirt, and then it got so cold I can't wait for it to get warm again. So now I know what it's like to go through seasons. But now we're getting ready for the spring, and something interesting happened. Dave, you and I were having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and he was talking about, I can't wait to go out and do yard work. I'm like, what? He's like, I can't wait for spring to get here to go out and do yard work. So I've had this conversation with a couple people over the last couple of days, like, yeah, I can't wait to get out there in the garden. I can't wait to get out there and mow the lawn. I'm like, where are you people from? I never wanted to do yard work. Dave, you?
No, but I know where they're coming from because I had an ex-girlfriend who she absolutely loved working in her garden and planting trees and flowers.
Okay, that's one thing. Gardening's one thing. Doing yard work is something completely different, isn't it?
I throw it all in the same bucket.
Okay. It's all work. Okay. So I'd like to know from people this morning on the James River Air Text line, 833-804-1140. I don't own a lawnmower. I don't even know if I own a rake. I own a shovel because I had to get one for the snow, but I have no yard tools. How many people actually still mow their lawn? When I was a kid, I had to mow the lawn. When I was a kid, we had to do yard work. My dad would get us up at 7 a.m. on Saturday, and he'd tell us, he'd warn my brother and I, hey, you two idiots, don't go out, and if you go out, I don't care, we're still getting up. And he would come in at dawn. Now, I worked tending bars, waiting tables, so I'd get home late. Normally, I was hungover the next morning. And he would come in, throw the door open, and he'd go, hey, we're burning daylight, like John Wayne. We're burning daylight. You two bums get up. And we're like, yeah, I'll be right there, Dad. And then he'd go out and he'd start, opening up the garage. He'd bring the lawnmower out and you'd hear him out there rattling stuff. And then about 5 minutes later, my mom would come in the room and you two idiots, get out there and help your father. Fine, we'd get up. I don't even know if we'd brush our teeth. We'd just go out there, have a sleep, and he'd go, all right, you, Richard Steven, you're going to mow the lawn. Mark Phillip, you're going to edge the grass. And then it would be an all-day thing. And it would be like probably 3 hours of the three of us, my brother, my dad, and I, all doing the yard work. And I hated every single minute of it. Now that he's gone, my brother has his own family, I have my own family, I'd give anything to have that day back. If I could just do that one more time, it would be so wonderful. At the time, hated it. Now, absolutely would give anything to have that moment back. Because we actually, even though my dad was yelling at us, because, if one of us had the hose, you know what would happen, right? Dave, if I had a hose, my brother's standing there, what do you think's going to happen?
Somebody's getting sprayed with the hose.
Somebody's going to get sprayed with the hose. And then my dad's going to yell at us for goofing around. Because if it was a big day, he'd make us get up. We'd have to clean the yard. And then he'd decide we're going to wash all the cars. Hey, Dad, there's this place down the street. It's called a car wash. I could do it just as good as them. And we wash and wax the cars. Oh, I'm just crying thinking of this. And then if there was a bucket and it just happened to be tipped over on my brother's foot, then he'd yell at both of them, you two stop goofing around. Hurry up. We want to get this done. I've got things to do today. It was mayhem, and I hated every minute of it, but I've got such great memories, and I just wish we could have those times back because we have conversation, we talk, got to spend time together. I didn't appreciate it as a kid. I think there's a lot of people like that. Like he would have us he would have us mow the lawn, and then sometimes he'd have us mow the neighbor's lawn. Like there's a story that my family always tells. We come home one day, we'd gone on a trip somewhere, like a 4-hour trip to see my grandmother. We come home, It's like 11:30 at night. We're all tired. We're going in, and there's the little old lady that lived next to us. She's in her house coat and slippers, and she's trying to bundle up with twine this big pile of branches. And we're like, what's going on? And we didn't really know her that well. She had just moved in. She had paid someone to trim her trees, paid them cash, trimmed the trees, but they never picked them up. And the garbage is coming the next day. So my brother and I had just walked in the house, and she looked at and she's standing there talking to my mom and dad. I'm already laying in bed. I'm ready to go to sleep. And my mom goes, get your butt outside and help your father. It's like 1 a.m, and we had been traveling all day, and my parents decided that my brother and I needed to bundle up all those branches and twigs for her so we could get them out to the garbage the next morning. I'm like, what? It's not our, I don't want to hear it. So there was this old story, there's old commercial that church used to run about helping your neighbor. And if you helped your neighbor, you never know what you get back in return. And it was a family that helped a farmer next door. And then after the farmer sent the crops off to market, he had some money, came back, gave the two boys a pocket knife. So to the day my dad died, my brother and I would constantly bust his chops. Yeah, where's our pocket knife? So those moments that you have out there gardening and spending time with your family, I had a question. How many of you actually do your own yard work anymore? How many of you are excited that spring is going to get here? I mean, listen, this winter was brutally cold. How many of you still do your own yard work? Like, I pay somebody to do my yard. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a gardener that we have. He comes and he mows the lawn twice a month, puts new mulch in, and trims everything up. The yard looks really nice. We're renting, but I want the house to look beautiful. So I have a question for you. How many of you are actually looking forward to doing your own yard work? Dave, we talked about this with somebody yesterday. Somebody who's pretty smart. He's like, I can't wait to get out there and touch the grass. I'm like, what are you talking about, Dave?
I'm the same way. I've never enjoyed cutting the lawn or anything like that. And just like, when I was in college, I was still living at home, and my mom would wake me up early on Saturday morning, and I was half hungover, and I have to get out there and cut the grass, and I always hated it, just absolutely hated it. And then I eventually bought my own house, and still hated cutting the grass, and I couldn't let it grow because the Nazi HOA would come by and start threatening to fine me. So your grass is too long, so I'd have to get out there and cut the grass then too.
It's probably been 20 years since I mowed the lawn. I don't know if I would enjoy it, but there's so many people that do. Maybe I should garden. Maybe I should try to grow something.
Trim my own bushes. I did some of the own trees as far as tall a ladder I had.
You churn your own butter. You make your own clothes. All right. I just want to know how many of you.
I did it all myself. I'm not bougie like you are, where you just hire somebody to do it.
Oh yeah. I go out there and I bring them water. I'm not that bad.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah, I don't make them drink out of the garden hose the way I did as a kid. I mean, listen, I'm telling you, there's generations of kids that don't know what it's like to drink out of a garden hose.
Oh, we always drank out of the garden hose when I was a kid.
Garden hose water tastes the best. It's always colder than the house. All right, so how many of you, I just want to show of hands this morning on Richmond's Morning News, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. How many of you mow your own lawn, take care of your own yard? I know my neighbor does. I see him and his wife out there every weekend over the summer and the fall, and they're out there mowing the lawn. She's helping him pick up the grass clippings, cutting the grass and taking care of all of that, trimming the hedges. I, of course, get up in the morning, get McDonald's breakfast, wave at them as I go back in the house because I'm too lazy to cook for myself for breakfast. But how many of you and your family, your kids, actually go out and do the yard work together? That's what I want to know this morning. 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Somebody says, Rich, I got 20 acres that need to be cleared. It's relaxing to ride the mower. Oh, I would do that in a heartbeat. I'd love, if I could ride an electric mower, that was my dream as a kid, to have a lawnmower that you could drive as like a 10-year-old pushing that lawnmower. And at one point in my grandmother's house, I'd have to go over there. They had the manual lawnmower that spun, but it wasn't a gas powered lawnmower.
Like the self-propelled lawnmower.
No, like the old school, like 1950s lawnmower without a motor.
Yeah, where the blades would turn.
The blades would turn. And my dream one day, my dream was to have my own lawnmower, a riding lawnmower like Forrest Gump. Oh, if you want me to come out and mow your 20 acres on the Forrest Gump lawnmower, I'm there.
Lawnmower, and it wasn't even self-propelled. It was, the only power that thing had was what I was pushing it.
But it was a gas?
Yeah, it was a gas.
Yeah, right. No, mine, the one that I had at my grandparents' house, was a manual lawnmower that spun like a piece of farm equipment.
The wheels turn the blades.
Yes. So I've always dreamed of having my own Forrest Gump lawnmower. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140.